There's a guy named Frank Luntz. And he's a pollster. And he is the worst of the worst. He pretends that he does focus groups. And he talks to people that he chooses. And he asks them questions about politics. But even when they don't say what he wants them to say, he still shifts it as if they are. He's a total scumbag. And I say that because, not because he's a bad person, but because he's dishonest. And he does his little focus groups, and he rephrases what the people say to echo what he's thinking. He did it during the 2016 campaign with Trump. He hates Trump. So everything he was doing and saying was the exact opposite of what happened. These people are leaning towards such and such, so and so. And then he did it again. And he kind of disappeared after the 2016 election because he was so wrong. And all of his ridiculous takes that he was molding out of the focus groups were just wrong, flat out wrong. Here it is. The people, they've decided it's going to be Cruz. Well, Hillary's up. She's going to win. And all of his projections were wrong, like most posters, but at least they weren't giving like fake reasons as to why the people were feeling the way they were feeling. He was just saying what he thinks. People don't like Donald Trump's brashness, and they don't like how he speaks, and that's why they're gonna choose Hillary. Well, she has her baggage, and he just wouldn't stop doing that. He kept doing it over and over. He was just the worst. And during the primaries is where I noticed it, the 2016 primaries, so 2014, 2015, because he was just lying. He was just making stuff up. And I could tell he was giving opinions. He wasn't asking the people for theirs. Because they would always be split in his little focus groups. Anyway, anyone who thinks he's a good guy or cool, I don't trust. Because he's dishonest. He just is. And he put it out there for the whole world to see. And he banked on, well, there's no way this Trump guy is going to win. So I can pretty much bash him and get away with it because I'll look like I was right in the end. And I'm just going to give my opinions. And it was disgusting. He was doing it for Fox News. I've been saying it since day one. Why are you guys listening to this man? He doesn't know what he's talking about. He does not have his finger on the pulse. He's just making stuff up. And it turned out I was right. I'm going to go back and look for all my tweets on that loser. Anyway, turns out he was part of the swamp. He's just saying what the swamp wanted him to say and pretending that that's the people's will. This is what the people are saying. They choose Jeb Bush. Clear it away, he's the front runner. Turns out everything he said was wrong. So he had an apartment in New York, and this is why Trump called him part of the swamp. And in that apartment was his roommate, a guy named Kevin McCarthy. Now, Kevin McCarthy is a Mitch McConnell guy. And if you don't know who Mitch McConnell is, go back and watch my videos. I can't stand the guy. He is the guy who refused to even hear or put on the floor for a vote Gaetz law. And the witnesses didn't matter. Nothing mattered because California loves them some illegals. And Mitch McConnell did not want to even introduce that bill, which was written up, I believe, by Ted Cruz. I'm not sure. Not positive on that. But either way, the bill was put forth for a reason. McConnell didn't even want to hear it. Why? Because McConnell loves illegal immigration himself. And he is a Democrat. He's not even a rhino Republican in name only. I don't even think he pretends to be a Republican. He just says Republican.
Providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians, that's the number one priority for the United States right now. according to most Republicans.
That's his idea of being a conservative. The exact opposite. He's also the guy who had to pass the omnibus bill. Had to pass it. Why? Because if he didn't pass it, there would have been a lockout. So, well, he doesn't want a lockout. He does not want to shut down the government. So he had to spend $6 trillion in order to keep the government open. He has no conviction. He has no values. He does not care that the people are spending that money. It's our money. This latest one was $1.7 trillion. And his excuse every time is that we have to avoid government lockdowns. We can't have a shutdown. The government must go on. Why? Every time the government is shut down, nothing's happened. What they do to make people feel it is they'll go to all the parks and shut them down. Rope them off. You can't go to the park. Hey, this is you guys. This is your fault. You let the government shut down. It's such a scam. And people believe it. Oh my gosh. What are these Republicans doing? We can't take Sonny to the park. That's all they can do. The government does nothing else. They have a few volunteers. They're not even getting paid from the Army Corps of Engineers, sitting at a park, making sure that people don't burn it down. And they fail at that half the time. Maybe not half the time. So Mitch McConnell groomed this guy named Kevin McCarthy to become the next Speaker of the House. Now, Mitch McConnell is the head of the Senate. So he's the Senate Majority Leader. Now he's the Senate Minority Leader. But he's always been a leader, and I don't know why. He does nothing. He's a turtle. He just sits there and that's what he does.
Historically, the justices, clerks, and staff have prized and protected the court's confidentiality.
Nobody trusts Kevin McCarthy. Correction. No non-Republican trusts Kevin McCarthy. Republicans love him. Status quo. Swamp creature. Now, he realistically is the only person who can become the Speaker of the House right now because he's the only one with the votes. He spent the last 5 years convincing everybody that he is the true future and Speaker of the House. And if he gets there, he can get all this stuff done. And he went up for his first vote because the Republicans won the House and it failed. And it failed again and again and again. I think we're on vote number 5 now, and he can't get the votes. So, why can't he get the votes? There's 20 Republicans. There was 15, I think, from the first vote. And these 20, led by Matt Gaetz. He's the main one, the main guy speaking out. Matt Gaetz is like, I'm never going to vote for McCarthy. He's not for the people. He's not for the party. And I'm not for the party either. But that's why I can sit here and laugh about it, because Republicans are really, really frustrated over this. But this is what they pick. This goes back to my other video. Tea Party people, it's now called MAGA. We do not let people pick our candidates. Republicans let people pick their candidates. That's on them. I don't care. I'm not a Republican. I don't even like most of them. I definitely don't like the party, because the party has turned into Democrats. It's no different. Anyway, Kevin McCarthy can't get his votes. Matt Gaetz, Chip Roy, and a few others. I wish I knew their names. I'll list them. I'll pause right here because they're gonna be scrolling right here. maybe right here. Either way, doesn't matter. They're going to scroll up. All the names of the holdouts. And the swamp creatures are mad. Well, we have to get to work. What are they doing? They have no plan. And they're saying, hey, I want term limits. And again, this goes against their own financial interests because they're in office. So they're saying, I don't want to be in office forever. I think we should have term limits. Okay, well, what else do you want? Okay, Kevin. I would like for us to put some caps on spending. I would like at least 72 hours to actually read the bills you guys put through. What's the other one they put? That one's a big one, though, because they just put out 4,000 page bills, and then they want to vote on it the same day. Finish the bill at 3 a.m., want to vote on it at 9 a.m. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's reading this? No one's reading it. You guys are wasting the people's money. But if you don't care about the people, that's like, well, what's the big deal? I don't understand. We got to get this done. We got to get this through. We can't shut the government down. Before Pelosi left office, not office, but her position, she voted in them another raise. So they all have it. They all got a raise. It must be nice to be able to choose your own raise. How awesome is that? It's so corrupt and it's so bad for this country that when people actually stop and say, hey, we're not doing this. It's not right for the people who voted me in. For the people who voted all of us in. We have to at least try to stop the spending. It's so corrupt that they go, what? What are you talking about? We need you to sign right here in the dotted line. Well, what is it? What do you mean, what is it? We have to send money to Ukraine. For what? For the war. Whose war? It's it's their war. But I don't want to spend money on the war. The American people don't want that. I wasn't voted here to do this. Well, if you don't do this, we're going to cut off your funding so you can't run again. Oh, full-on extortion. Cool, blackmail. That's what the government does. That's what these leaders of parties do. Nancy Pelosi was great at it. She ran it with an iron fist. So now McCarthy wants to come in and he can't even get his 200. How the process works is the entire House votes. So the left votes and the right votes. So the left, of course, is always going to vote no 100% of the time. But the right needs the right to vote when you have a slim majority. They only have like 5 extra seats. So you have 5 holdouts, you're not getting in. And the left has no interest in helping them. So, here we are. Kevin McCarthy can't get his votes. Hopefully they keep out longer just to create more chaos. Trump has backed McCarthy, doesn't matter. And that's the other thing. They think that that's a sign that Trump doesn't have power. Oh boy, they're not even listening to Trump. You can disagree with him. It's totally normal. It's okay. I know the left thinks that it's a cult and that everyone has to do what Trump says or go along with what he does. It's not true. He worked for us. We would like for him to work for us again. We don't follow him. He follows our lead. That's what a public servant is. They serve me. So just because I say, no, I don't agree with Trump on vaccines. Nope, I don't agree with Trump on this pick. I don't like Dr. Oz. Herschel Walker, not for me. Just because people say that, it doesn't mean it diminishes him in any way. He's just giving his opinion. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. We're not the cult. The people who automatically say no to everything he says, you're the cult. You're the one who can't look at the actual substance and make a decision. You're projecting. You're projecting on me. projecting out all of this.